Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. Far more handsome than normal David. So David and Michelle are still in Mendocino. They'll probably come home, I think, tomorrow. Either today or tomorrow. I looked, and they were still there today, so I'm assuming they're coming home tomorrow. So there has been some excitement going on in the good old U.S. of A. The Supreme Court has shot down Trump's tariffs. He immediately had a tantrum and then put a 10% global tariff, um, trying a different avenue. It was some trade act that allows him to apply. In his theory, he's able to apply tariffs using this trade act. No one's ever actually applied a tariff from this trade act. Just for those of us that want to know. Um, Yeah, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 against Trump's little tariffs using the IEEP. Although Justice Kavanaugh did, blow on the dog whistle saying, well, you can't use this, but there's other avenues. In other words, hey, look over here, Trump, you can do that. So that was a partial win. No discussion on, you know, repaying all these companies that have had to pay these tariffs. I mean, the Chinese people that paid all the tariffs because American companies and the Americans didn't pay them. Nope, nope, nope. It was China. China's the one that's paying the tariffs. So I guess the Chinese will ultimately sue to get their tariff money back. In local news, Kristi Noem wants to buy an airplane. I mean, if Trump can have his Qatari 747, Kristi Noem wants her 737 Max aircraft. Apparently, they've been leasing this airplane. It's been all dolled up and made really fancy, and so she wants to purchase this thing. If you go on the internet and type Kristi Noem jet, you could see this thing. This thing has been like totally done up. They want to spend $70 million buying this jet. And it's basically, the jet's got like a couple of bedrooms in it. It's like a plush queen size bed and a private cabin. And her justification on this is that, it's for two things. The aircraft will be used for both deportations and official cabinet business. Okay, if you had a luxury jet, how are you going to deport people on this thing? I mean, this thing is designed to hold 18 people. And their excuse is, oh, well, one of the bedrooms is going to be remodeled with seating to hold deportees. You know, and this thing's really good because flying this private jet is 40% cheaper than the military flights for deporting migrants. So they're trying to justify this as a cost savings to the taxpayers. And I'm reading this and I'm having a good chuckle on this. Now, I guess I shouldn't laugh too much because she might get this damn thing. Yeah, they're saying that this plane flies at 40% cheaper than what military aircraft flies for ICE deportation flights, saving the American taxpayer hundreds of millions of dollars. And this cost-saving investment is like part of Secretary Noem's broader efforts to clamp down on inefficiencies and save taxpayer dollars. Okay, I just thought it was a way for her and Corey Lewandowski to go back and join the Mile High Club every time she goes somewhere. I mean, come on, let's call this for what it is. This is pure and simple grift. She needs a $70 million jet to deport migrants, really? The only person that's going to be flying on that is the former president of Venezuela. They didn't fly him on that jet, man. They put him on a helicopter, and they dragged him and his wife somewhere before putting him on a boat or something to get him to the States. So let's take a look at this. This is just kind of a fun reading on Kristi Noem, Ice Barbie, and her little airplane. And And then maybe we'll take a quick look at what's going on with Iran on a little more serious note. But let's take a look at the energy around Kristi Noem and her little airplane. And does she really think that, do the Department of Homeland Security people actually think people are going to buy this argument? That this is somehow going to, this is going to somehow gain traction. People are going to get behind this. You know, your typical Fox News viewer is going to support this. Do they really think so? Foundation of the reading, Nine of Swords. Don't look too close. It's one of those things. Kristi and Corey, they just need some place to be alone. It's such a nightmare being married to different people and you want to sleep with each other all the time. How do you do it? Well, keep your emotions under control. Okay, let's come on, Gary. Get a little more serious. Do they think the American taxpayer, the folks in the budget office, are going to buy into this? Okay, this is just one of those crazy nightmare situations. Like, you have got to be kidding me. The optics are terrible, but you can't say anything out loud. You have to keep cool. As if you're in the budget office, you need to keep cool. Energy underneath it, the judgment card. Now, the article I was reading was saying that she might actually get this jet. Because, like I said, they're leasing it now, and they want to purchase it. And, you know, it's one of those things where, in some cases, that might make sense to own the aircraft versus leasing it. However, did Trump buy a couple of Gulfstream jets for Kristi Noem to use? One of them was for her to use, like, last year. So this is kind of a situation where this is so egregious, the grift, that if this gets approved, people are going to be in uproar. I mean, we're still, you know, kitchen table issues are still front and center with the midterm elections coming up. And this is just an extravagance that makes little to no sense, especially if they're saying, well, we're going to deport migrants. What, are you going to deport like 10 migrants on this thing while Kristi and Corey are in the other bedroom enjoying each other's company? I don't think so. Okay, but do they think this is going to fly with the taxpayer? So right now, the budget office is like, this is crazy. We have to be professional about this, but people are not going to be happy about what we're seeing. In the past, Page of Swords, that's just Kristi Noem fighting for Trump, fighting for the Department of Homeland Security, taking on all comers. Look at me, I am out there, I am fighting, you know, cosplay Barbie. Current situation is now the Seven of Wands having to defend the actions that they're taking. I mean, let's face it, ICE is, and Department of Homeland Security is it's not viewed well right now. Even Trump is not viewing this well right now. That's why they got, they pulled, what's his name out of there in Minnesota. Hold on a second, let me get what's his name's name. Yeah, so Tom Homan's and Greg Bovino, right? So Greg Bovino's tactics were really kind of up in your face and really caused some optic issues. And now Trump's got Homan in there, and Homan's kind of kicking it down a notch or two. But right now they're having to defend the actions of this agency, Department of Homeland Security and ICE. Overarching energy is the Five of Pentacles. Once again, this kind of ties in very much with the Judgment card. The optics are really, really bad. People are struggling. And they're just like greedily spending money. You know? Well, hey, the Dow is at 50,000, so we should be able to spend this money. President Trump is doing a great job. This could also be that Kristi Noem and Lewandowski are kind of on the outs with Trump. And that this may be yet another straw on that camel's back. Will it break the camel's back? Don't know. Maybe we should ask that. Lesson to be learned is the Empress. Hey, she wants to be treated like a queen. You know, I want all the comforts and all the luxuries. You know, she wants to cosplay. Outcome, Wheel of Fortune. It's not to be determined. Don't know if she's going to get her little toy or not. Okay, so that was a reading I want to do. Maybe, I'm going to wait for David, but I want to do a reading on who's the first cabinet member to finally be given the boot. Like, okay, I'm kind of thinking, right now it's between Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem, might be the first to get the boot. Uh, we'll have to see. I mean, there's a couple people on Trump's radar right now that might be the candidate for the first. But maybe we'll have like a round robin and get a whole bunch of cabinet members and see which one is in the worst position according to the cards. So, shifting gears, let's take a look at what's going on in Iran. Trump allegedly is coming close to some sort of deal or agreement on Iran's nuclear program. They've been having talks, but Trump has also said, well, I'm considering limited strikes on Iran to basically force them to agree. So let's take a look at, and you know how Trump is, man. If he can be a tough guy without having to face a consequence, he'll do it. What's it going to cost him, right? What's Iran going to do? That's his mentality on this. It's kind of like what he did with Venezuela. Just let's go sink a whole bunch of boats. We'll come up with some excuse and then we'll just sink the boats. And what are they going to do? Just go in and take their president and his wife and fly him to the United States. What are they going to do? This may be another situation of what are they going to do if I decide to do it? So you see the underneath card. So what's the energy around Trump's, what's his mindset as far as doing a strategic limited strike on Iran prior to an agreement? Ace of Swords, take some action, show the truth. This is an action I can take where I can exert my dominance on you. Cross, I don't want. It's better to do something than nothing. Face my truth, or I'm going to take an action against you, because that's who he is. He's just being himself here. Once again, if they can't do anything, if the truth of the matter is, if he takes an action and they can't do anything, he's going to do it because there's no consequence to him. In the past, you got the Ten of Swords wanting to put an end to Iran's nuclear program. You could also read this as trying to put an end to the Iranian government. Allow the pro-democracy protesters to protest freely. But he wants, in the past, he's wanted something to end, which is probably a nuclear program, if I'm honest. Current energy is the Hangman. He looks at these things in a different way than most people. It's one of those things where he may do a limited strike, maybe on the same nuclear sites that they bombed the first time. He may do that again and then just fully expect Iran to go ahead and sign the whatever agreement that he's putting in front of him. Like, once again, with no consequence. He looks at this thing completely differently. A lot of aces on this. Overarching energy is the Ace of Cups. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of upwelling emotion in Iran from the protesters and how they've been treated. Many killed. But it's also a situation where Trump is not able to control his emotions. He's like a very he's like a child that has no self-control. He's got this arsenal. Why not use it? That's his mentality. That's how he thinks. So you got the Ace of Cups as the overarching energy. Lesson to be learned is the Star. If I'm able to get this deal to basically end Iran's nuclear power, I'm a star. I'm the president of peace, if you will. He's thinking about his star power, about how he can show that he's a tough guy and a great negotiator. Outcome, Two of Cups. It's about agreements. So the Two of Cups is more the transactional as opposed to big picture agreements. The Lover's card would be the major arcana. So this is basically is he wants to do a strike to get them to agree to his terms and seal his reputation as a star. That he is the man. He's very likely to do it, regardless of how the negotiations are going, just because he thinks he can get away with it. Now, the problem you run into is if you do that, everything has to go perfectly. Like kind of what happened in Venezuela. He got away with that one because no troops got hurt. No one got killed. I take that back. Some troops got shot and got hurt, but no one got killed. And he was able to get a mulligan for that. Congress gave him a pass. Where's the outrage? He freaking kidnapped a leader of a sovereign nation and brought him to the United States for trial. Are you kidding me? The mindset that lets you think that that's okay will also allow you to bomb Iran. Full stop. It's one of those things. He wants them to sign that deal, and he'll definitely drop a bomb on them if he feels they're taking too long. That's what he did last time. Just sign the deal and bomb, right? And then he's always afraid of the taco moniker because he's backed down so much now that the taco thing really bothered him. So now he's more likely to do something because he doesn't want to be called a taco. What happens if Trump bombs Iran? Will this escalate into a bigger conflict, or is Trump right? Is Iran just either going to have to play the super long game, or are they just incapable of retaliating? What's going to happen? What's going to happen if Trump bombs Iran? Okay, foundation is Nine of Cups, smug merchant, hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. Whose hopes, wishes, and dreams? That's the thing. Is it the Iranian government? Is it Trump? I get a feeling this is Trump. What happens if he bombs them? Hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. Challenges, actions, Two of Wands, actions impacting the future. And there it is. There's the Lover's card. So the outcome was he wants a transactional victory. Sign this treaty. If he bombs them, the energy underneath it becomes the Lover's card. This is about long-lasting relationships. He'll be happy if he bombs. You got the smug merchant, hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. The challenge is there's going to be actions taken in the future, and it's going to be impactful on long-term relationships. Long-term relationships are going to be impacted. In the past, you got the Four Wands, declaring your victories, having your little celebrations of the actions you've taken. The current energy, Five of Pentacles, being on the outside. So once again, I had shown that as when I did the Kristi Noem reading, that it's the American public who have tabletop issues and the Trump administration hoarding all the money, or Kristi Noem and Lewandowski being on the outside looking in. In this case, if Trump bombs Iran, this could be, your MAGA folks that have tabletop issues watching Trump trying to start another war when he said he was going to end all the wars. And that, he's now focusing again on the Middle East instead of focusing on the people at home. Overarching energy is the Death card. Oh boy. If he bombs Iran, it brings an end. We've got the Lover's card underneath it, and you got the Death card. It's basically the end of any relationship that you're going to have in the Middle East. It's kind of what I'm getting out of this. I guess it could be Iran somehow is able to get to Trump. But I don't know. Wow, that's crazy. Lesson to be learned. Seven of Swords. making off with things when people aren't looking. What the hell does that mean? If he bombs Iran, his base feels like they're on the outside. Maybe this means that the government gets overthrown. The Iranian government falls. He bombs them, and you got people in distress being being on the outside. Overarching energy. We need to put an end to this, and stealing away while no one's looking. God, I don't know. What's the outcome if he bombs it? Three of Swords. Heartbreak and betrayal. Wow. These aren't good cards for whoever this is pointing at. It's not good cards. Actions being taken in the future. It's going to affect relationships. It's going to put an end to the cycle. It's going to put an end to something. Oh man. I wish Dave was here. I'm not sure. What I can say is, from a big picture perspective, looking at the two major arcana that landed, it's going to be the end of an era. The end of something is coming. That is what we're going to see on top. And then underneath it, maybe a new relationship developing. Maybe I'm just misinterpreting this. It could really topple the government, I suppose. Maybe that's what he's thinking, is if you get this agreement and you're able to, depending on what he strikes, it possibly could topple the government. And that would create all sorts of, that would explain the Seven of Swords. Everyone's looking one way, someone's making off with a whole bunch of things. Well, we'll see what happens. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen probably the next week or so. I didn't get my Tariff video out. I was thinking about it this morning. I thought I would do it today after work. It's Friday at 5 o'clock, by the way. I was good today after work, and then they announced it at lunchtime. So, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? Basically, what I was going to say, Gary, the analyst, was going to say was they're going to strike down the tariffs, but they're going to have some sort of carve out for him. And that's kind of how it played out, because they struck it down, and then Kavanaugh put a little response in there to kind of point Trump on which direction he should be thinking. Just like they did with Judge Aileen Cannon when they were telling her to dismiss the special counsel for the Trump's document case. With Jack Smith elected as a special prosecutor. Clarence Thomas kind of did it that time, where he gave Judge Aileen Cannon some stick and rudder from the Supreme Court. So Kavanaugh did it this time. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I truly appreciate you. I want to give a shout out to Linda from Virginia, who made a very kind contribution to the channel. Thank you so much, Linda. It's been so nice to see all of you in the chat and all the support I got. I've got 2,000 messages on that first video. Normally we get about 300 or 400, so I was busy responding. So for Linda from Virginia, you've got the Six of Wands. You're triumphant in the actions you take, and I guess my return was triumphant. So thank you so much for your kind contribution. And a special, two more special shout outs. One to Michelle Kentucky Bell. Michelle, I sent you a little package. I think it got delivered today. So hopefully you got it. And just let me know. I just want to make sure it arrived in one piece. And then just a special thought and prayer and to June Wagner. June had a tree fall on her house, and it totaled her house. And it damn near killed her husband. Kevin was... the tree landed like nearby where Kevin's room is, and there was a piece of equipment that prevented the tree from hurting him. So I'm on one hand, I'm so thankful that everyone's okay. On the other hand, June, I am so sorry. I mean, my God, you lose your whole house because a tree fell on it. I have no words. I hope you're doing well, my dear. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. Um, so if you're out there, take a look at June's channel. Let's see what we could do to support her. And I truly appreciate you. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll catch you soon. Take care, folks. Bye.